Finance Minister Becky Cele is expected to visit Newcastle in KwaZulu-Natal following the murder of a farmer, Glenn Rafferty, and his wife, Vida. The two were shot dead at the weekend. At the same time, tens of thousands of bikers hitting the streets in protest against farm murders. The Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development Minister, Toko Didiza, says the safety of rural communities is a concern.
Let me speak to the Minister now. He's here right next to me, Jeremy. Minister, thank you for your time. Let's start here. Are there any leads in this case?
From last year, there are 7 murders that have taken place here. Looks like it's cracked them all except this one. But giving the leads, it seems like we're on the right direction. One is more comfortable. We hope that soon we'll be able to crack this one. We just request that we have less pressure, but ourselves, we don't take too long to break the case.
But Minister, listening to the community interaction earlier, many of the community members here are saying that police are simply not doing enough to address this issue. There are not enough resources. Would you say that police here are failing the community?
I fully agree. If and when they tell us exactly what we're supposed to add on it, we will do that.
And in terms, Minister, of that strategy, what is your strategy as police to deal with these farm murders? We know there's been an increase, in fact, over the years. And many of the farm dwellers, farm owners, quite concerned that police are simply not doing enough.
Well, I'm not very sure that has been the increase of the years. They've been going down, and then the years are not the same. But we have launched this strategy. We launched it in Limpopo, whereas the South African police and the government, we put a lot of resources there in terms of hard cars and other things. So what we haven't done, that I will admit, we haven't really rolled it out on a quicker, in the speed that we're supposed to do. But the strategy itself is really accepted, that is there. But we have to work together with the community and ourselves to roll it out, even on the smaller places like this, the smaller police stations.
At a special parliamentary debate yesterday, the ANC saying this issue requires special attention because it threatens the economy and food security. The Democratic Alliance calling for a summit on farm attacks.
Thank you. Coming to you from Newcastle, where over 1,000 vehicles with tractors included are doing a convoy, raising awareness of the killing of farmers in the country, including here in KZN. But to bring us more into the picture, I have with me Mr. Derek Brown, a farmer here in the area. Sir, thank you very much for your time. Just tell us briefly, sir, the message you're trying to convey with today's protest.
The message we're trying to convey is farm murders must stop. I don't mean just murders of white commercial farmers. Farm murders must stop. More needs to be done to prevent farm murders. Each and every one of these crosses represents almost 10 commercial farmers that have been murdered over the last few years. And as you see, there's over 500 crosses making an avenue here today. And we're here today also to mourn the death of Glenn and Vida Rafferty, a farming couple from Normandien, here in the area where we are now, who were brutally murdered on Saturday evening when they returned home from town.
So we also see here a banner directed to President Cyril Ramaphosa saying how many more must die. What kind of intervention do you want to see?
We want to see action. We want to see more visible policing. We want to see the criminals and these murderers brought to book. We want to see the government taking a lot more interest than has been taken in recent times. We are ever thankful that Minister Becky Cele visited the area. Deputy President Mabuza has also mentioned farm murders. It was discussed in Parliament this week. So hopefully this is going to be a turning point for stopping the scourge of farm murders.
Just to speak more about that, I'm joined by the Normandien Ward Councillor Mthunzi Mkhumane. Councillor, thank you for speaking to Newsroom Africa. First, just to describe the Raffertys and their work here in the community, and then tell us about the issues that were raised regarding tensions over land here in Normandien.
The main issues there is some of the people feel that the land matter is a very serious matter. And we feel that the government nationally should address that matter very seriously. In some of the meetings that we had, we do have white people that are stealing. That we must put it as a fact. And it cannot be saying that black people are stealing from the white farmers. The main issue here is that white farmers will prefer maybe to have bigger lands than other people, which is not fair. Okay, there's a lot of people. Some people will tell you that they're getting stopped at the road by people that don't even have SAPS gear, which is just normal farmers. They're just stopping the people, which is not on. Because the national road, you can't just stop anybody there. It's a national road. Everybody must use it. But if you suspect anything, call the police. So it's the debate also, it must say everybody must be equal. You can't have a person more equal to another. So in Normandien, we have such cases. They might debate that maybe that those people that are feeling that as a threat. But this killing is not only for white people. Black people are also feel killed. In Dumbe, Paul Petersburg, we've got people that were shot. The black tenant was shot. That is racism. Black people have been deprived for such a long time, and it's time that everybody must be equal to another. Thank you.
It's believed the attackers were waiting inside the house. The couple was shot while trying to open the front door. Their bodies were found on the front veranda. Their dog was also killed. It appeared as if the attackers entered the house through the back door. The police say the house was ransacked, the surveillance cameras broken, and software removed. The attackers apparently fled in the Rafferty's car, which was later found abandoned on the N11 between Newcastle and Ladysmith. Their son and daughter-in-law were on their way from the Western Cape to visit their parents when they received the tragic news. They are devastated at the senseless killing.
So yeah, my parents were the most genuinely good people. I can't think of. Sorry.
Glenn and Vida were so loved in their community. The community has lost pillars of strength. The family's been involved in Normandien for years, for generations rather. We are all shocked.
Friends and neighbors say the couple was respected and much loved by the community. The Provincial Agricultural Union has called on President Cyril Ramaphosa to assist farming communities in dealing with security on the farms.
KwaNola is devastated by the double farm murder that took place in KwaZulu-Natal. Our sincere condolences are extended to the family and farming community.
On Saturday, tens of thousands of bikers congregated at the Union buildings in Parliament, calling for greater state intervention to stop farm murders.
The government needs to take a stand now and say, what, let us go out there, let us get more policing in. Because what's happening, the local security companies are actually trying to assist, but it's not enough.
Just hours later, 63-year-old Glenn and 60-year-old Vida Rafferty, along with one of their dogs, were shot dead on their farm in Normandien in KwaZulu-Natal. Family spokesperson and chairman of the Normandien Farmers Association, Roland Collier, says this tragedy leaves a massive void.
Well, he was a cattle farmer in our area, was our farm association chairman for many years before I'd taken over from him. The farm labourers are here by us on the scene at the moment. And these people are wanting to know where's their next meal coming from. They've lost their supplier. The guy that's supposed to be supplying them with work is now not there anymore.
What does he believe the motive was?
No robbery, murder. As I say, the only thing that has been taken off scene was the vehicle that they fled with. Glenn and Vida's cell phones were found in the vehicle. And then there's the DVR, the recording system of the cameras that was taken away.
Vida's friend of over 20 years, Sandy Hill, is devastated.
She and Glenn they were there for everybody. Anybody needed help, Vida and Glenn would be there, financially or practically. They're the most amazing people. I've worked in the criminal courts. I'm aware of what happens in the justice system, but this is a lot closer than that. This is it's unbearably painful.
Rural safety expert Ian Cameron says beyond the human tragedy, attacks like these have dire economic impacts.
I think people underestimate the ripple effect that farm attacks have on the community, not only that live on the farm, but that surrounds the farm. So a few years back, it was said that it takes a farm where a farmer is murdered up to 5 years to recover to a point where it can sustainably carry on again at the normal rate that it was operating in before the attack occurred.
We understand that you were on the scene of the crime. What can you share with us, and what did you observe?
Well, obviously, I am still at the crime scene. Special forces have been sent to the scene by our KZN commissioner to come to the scene. They are present at the moment. It's a senseless killing of our people. I mean, as I say, nothing was stolen except the camera system that recorded the people and what actually happened at the scene. It's a very senseless killing. As I say, there's nothing being taken. There was money in possession of the couple that was lying on the scene when we got here this morning. The firearms are all still intact in the safe. The safe's keys were lying on the scene too. So very senseless killing of an uncle of mine and a neighbour. I'm not aware of any threats. Glenn and Vida are both the people that are not fighting. Glenn was a very, very soft person. He never spoke hard. His labour are sitting here in front of me in tears, wanting to know where their next meal's going to come from. I can't tell you at all that there's anything that could lead to this type of thing. Definitely not. As I say, we're quite a peaceful community. Definitely.
Die polisie in KwaZulu-Natal is steeds op soek na die moordenaars van die 63-jarige Glenn Rafferty en sy 60-jarige vrou Vida, wat op hulle plaas in Normandien naby Newcastle vermoor is.
Hulle is Saterdag aand voor hulle huis doodgeskiet. Die voorval word wyd veroordeel.
Werkers op die egpaar se plaas is verpletterd.
My hart is so seer, hulle was so nederig. Ek bly al hier van kleins af. My ma het nog vir hulle gewerk en hulle het alles vir ons gedoen. Dit gaan vir ons baie moeilik wees om sonder hulle te leef.
Ek werk nog net 2 maande in die gebied en ek het dadelik agtergekom dat hy anders werk met sy werknemers. Dis die eerste keer dat ek gesien het iemand kyk so goed na die mense wat vir hom werk.
Die egpaar word oorleef deur hul 2 seuns en 2 kleinkinders.
Graphic details of torture and cruel murders have been heard in Parliament. According to the DA's Okita Blanche, farmers and farm workers are more likely to be murdered in South Africa than police officers. Opposition parties say the motive behind these attacks, where often nothing is stolen, is deeply disturbing. Deputy President David Mabuza has condemned farm attacks and called for a meeting with the Interministerial Committee on Land Reform and Agriculture on Friday to discuss interventions to curb violence on farms.